It's time for a new round of the Holy Waifu Wars. First off, I want to apologize for the rather large hiatus between rounds. I've been trying to find a way to make the competition more accessible and bring in more viewers. From now on, voting for the Waifu Wars will be moved to the community tab of the channel itself, so that all viewers can vote without needing a Patreon account. There will be frequent polling, so be sure to update your subscription notifications to stay in the loop. The only thing I'll be using Patreon for is the official competition bracket. Just click the link in the top right or in the description below. Videos like this will be reserved for major duels and waifu introductions. After all, using waifu to introduce you to new anime is one of the main reasons I started this series. Thus, for this video, I'll be introducing a whopping 40 new waifu, who will be gradually integrated into the hierarchy over the coming weeks. So here we go. Enter Rapid Fire Waifu. Rei Hino from Sailor Moon. Rei's a smart, beautiful woman who works with her grandfather as a shrine maiden at Hikawa Shrine, hoping to one day become the head priest. As Sailor Mars, she can harness awesome flame powers, predict the near future, and exorcise evil spirits. Mana from Yugioh. Mana bears resemblance to competition favorite Dark Magician Girl, which makes sense because Magician Girl is Mana's Egyptian spirit monster. In the Millennium world, she studies magic under Mahad as a princess. She's both playful and kind-hearted. Saya Takagi from High School of the Dead. Let's face it, Saya is a woman whose brains exceed her bust, which is really saying something. When the undead spread throughout Japan, she takes her stubborn arrogance and aims it towards fighting for survival, coming up with strategies and entering the fray herself. While irritable, she is a welcome entry to any battle party. Mio Akiyama from K-On! Enter our favorite bassist from the Light Music Club at Sakuragaoka High School. While a stunning beauty, she's extremely shy and deals with stage fright. Despite this, she's a devoted member of the club and steps up when necessary. Miu from Deers. We've got ourselves an alien, a girl from a race known as Deers. She crashes down on Earth as part of a homestay, attending Koharu High School as an exchange student. Reluctantly, after some conflict, she takes on the role of being mentor to her fellow Deers Ren. Melfina from Outlaw Star. The K-Pirate Guild and Professor Gwen Khan team up to create Melfina as a navigational system capable of reaching the universe's greatest treasure, the galactic ley line. As a bio-android, Melfina is an extremely kind and caring girl who ultimately journeys with Jean Starwind on the crew of the Outlaw Star. Her ability to interface with the ship, as well as her pleasant demeanor, make her an irreplaceable companion. Nepgear from Neptunia. Entering the fray in Neptunia Mark II, Nepgear is shy and apologetic compared to Neptune, but is just as much an airhead like her sister. Regardless, she is a responsible CPU candidate. Her HDD form, Purple Sister, is bright and beautiful. Inami Mahiru from Working. Among the staff at Wagnaria, Mahiru is a waitress of slender build and short orange hair. Her father raised her to have severe androphobia, the fear of men, compelling her to immediately punch the shit out of most men she meets. I guess there's a sixth sense of joy that comes from romancing such a dangerous girl, helping her overcome her temperance. Takao from Aoki Hagane no Arpeggio, Ars Nova. Much like in Kantai Collection, Takao is an anthropomorphized embodiment of a warship, specifically a World War II heavy cruiser. The form we see her in is a mental model of the ship in the form of a lovely lady in blue, white, and black. Her arrogance, mixed with her crush on Gunzo, makes others call her the Tsundere Heavy Cruiser. Kurumi Tokisaki from Date Alive. In the world of Date Alive, spirits are beings beyond our dimension who can easily decimate Earth in the form of spacequake explosions. Kurumi is reported as the most dangerous spirit ever, an antagonist to the human species. She infiltrates Shido Itsuka's school and aims to consume him for his mana. 02 from Darling in the Franxx. In the world of Darling in the Franxx, teenagers are bred as soldiers to fight the threat of creatures called Klaxosaurs. Among them is 02, a human Klaxosaur hybrid who has a reputation for being incompatible with male pilots, who never last more than 3 missions without dying. Regardless, she is endearing, openly expressing herself, and harboring a love for sweets. Yohko from Gurren Lagann. In the world of Gurren Lagann, humanity fights against the Spiral King and his beastmen to escape lives of suffering beneath the Earth's surface. Yohko Littner is a frontline warrior in this endeavor, wielding a powerful rifle against varying gunmen. Her sexiness is overwhelming, drawing the attention of nearly all her male comrades, and her maternal nature helps keep mankind on the right path. Pyrrha Niko from Ruby. Pyrrha is an accomplished huntress who studies to combat the Grim at Beacon Academy. Her peers are often intimidated or biased in approaching her due to her fame, so she dearly values the members of Team Juniper for seeing her as a person rather than an icon. She especially cares for Jean Arc for his sincerity and kindness. Cheryl Gnome from Macross Frontier. In the world of Macross, Cheryl is one of the universe's most gorgeous and spectacular idols. Her music shines with power and confidence, later proving to be a useful part of humanity's fight against the Vajra. She falls for Alto Saotome and shares in a romantic rivalry with up-and-coming singer Ranka Lee. Chelsea from Akame ga Kill. Chelsea fights Imperial corruption as part of the Night Raid Assassins. She tragically lost the members of her previous team in the line of duty, and tries to avoid a recurrence at the cost of being realistic and harsh. Her Tegu allows her to change appearance at will in order to deceive her targets. Ikaros from Heaven's Lost Property. Exiled from her home, Synapse, the angeloid girl Ikaros finds herself on Earth, loyally pledged to Tomoki Sakurai, striving to fulfill all his desires. Despite her maidenly appearance, she is a battle-class angeloid of immense power, ready to protect her master from danger. She starts off with little experience with human emotion, but eventually develops a lasting love for Tomoki. Bismarck from Kantai Collection. Adding to our roster of battling boat babes, we have Bismarck, an anthropomorphization of the Bismarck-class fast battleship. Her uniform and its layered alterations are based upon the ship's historical paint jobs. She's dignified, but often portrayed as silly by various artists. Sakura from Tsubasa Chronicle. Now, Tsubasa Chronicle is a complete mindfuck, with clones and rebirths, but in the beginning we're introduced to Princess Sakura, who has lost all her memories in the form of feathers that scatter across various worlds. Her lover, Shaoran, goes with her on a journey to recover the feathers. While this will save her life, it comes with a cost. No matter how many memories she recovers, she will not remember her loving relationship with Shaoran. Miku Hatsune. I'm proud to announce the coming of the world's greatest virtual idol, Miku Hatsune. In some ways, she's the embodiment of perfection, a blank canvas for creators to impose their visions upon. This versatility has given her a wide array of memorable songs and portrayals, all presented through the avatar of a cheerful anime digital goddess. Shiki Ryogi from Kata no Kyokai. Shiki is a woman with incredibly dangerous powers, the mystic eyes of death perception. She spends her days slaying supernatural entities while trying to re-establish her love for Mikia Kokuto and resist her vague murderous impulses. She's got the cold, nonchalant mannerisms of a cat, but reveals herself to be quite loving. Lena Inverse from Slayers. We're going back in time for the classic sorceress Lena Inverse, otherwise known as the Bandit Killer. While she saved the world numerous times from demon lords and other threats, Lena isn't someone you necessarily want to be around, especially if she's angry. Her tendency to solve problems by shooting fireballs or her infamous dragon slave has resulted in much unintended destruction. Anne and Mary from Fate Grand Order. Anne Bonny and Mary Reed were two of the most famous female pirates in history, serving under John Rackham on the pirate ship Calico Jack. While the crew were pirates in name, the only truly brave members of the crew were Anne and Mary, who raised hell until their dying days. In FGO, they were summoned as a pair, and it shall be as such here as well. Ruru from Myriad Colors Phantom World. Phantom World is filled with extra-dimensional entities called phantoms, and Ruru is the most adorable among them. She's a tiny phantom who floats about energetically, always ready to crack jokes while lending a hand to Haruhiko and his team as they quell other phantom outbursts. My favorite part about her, beyond her outgoing personality, is her alluring outfit. Itsuo, from a certain magical index. Itsuo is a member of the Amakusa-style remix of Church. She first appears in the series by aiding the protagonist, Toma, and his group. She carries into battles a complex weapon called the Friulian Spear that can separate into different pieces or remain a single spear. In general, she is very humble and unassuming. Hakaze, from Blast of Tempest. Hakaze Kusaribe is the leader of a mage clan tasked with protecting the Tree of Genesis. She is determined and blunt when expressing her thoughts, which is understandable, considering she spends a large chunk of her story stranded on a deserted island. There, she communicates with the protagonist, Yoshino, getting his help in exchange for finding his girlfriend's murderer. Kagura, from Gintama. Despite her cuteness, Kagura is a strong and combative member of the Yato clan, an Amanto race of warriors from a distant planet. She comes to Earth in search of wealth, ultimately getting hired on by Gintoki. While she is indeed superhuman, she has difficulty controlling her strength, but is nonetheless pretty damn OP. Kika Gay from Senran Kagura. This seemingly emotionless beauty happens to be my favorite kunoichi among the babes of Senran Kagura. She grew up in an orphanage before running away and joining a gang, where she learned it was okay to be emotionally numb. That said, her first emotion she claims to feel is a raining inside her heart upon witnessing her mentor, Hinata's mangled corpse. She joins Hebijo Academy, wielding Hinata's knife and wearing a torn-up crop top with loose jeans. Sakuya from God Eater. In a world where monstrous creatures called Aragami decimate the human race, Sakuya Tachibana is a soldier capable of fighting back as a God Eater. In that endeavor, she serves a support role, shooting at her enemies from a distance while healing her allies. In part thanks to her love for Lindo Amamiya, she truly appreciates life and strives to protect others. Nero from Fate Extra. The glorious lover of muses, finally enters the arena. She is indeed the Empress of Rome during the time of Rome's most devastating fire. Her reputation throughout history has been misunderstood, as she's a passionate artist who sincerely cares for her people. Blanc from Neptunia. Blanc is a goddess in the world of Neptunia, where she watches over the land. She sports both an introverted calmness and angered rage, which she often jumps between when irritated. Like the other Neptunia girls, Blanc has an adorable yet formidable HDD form known as White Heart. Violet from Violet Evergarden. Violet was raised to be a tool of war, a loyal and murderous dog used to charge enemy lines. However, when she is put under the care of Major Gilbert, she is finally treated as a normal girl. After the war, she is left with a desire to understand the meaning of his final words, "I love you." Nadia, from Nadia, Secret of Blue Water. Nadia is a young orphan girl who carries with her a mysterious blue pendant, which serves as the only clue to her parents and home. After escaping her pitiful life as a circus performer, she travels the world with her companion Jean on an epic adventure to discover the mystery of her pendant. Along her journey, she finds herself on board the submarine of Captain Nemo, anxiously exploring the ocean deep. Musashi from Fate Grand Order. We've got ourselves another lovely Fate gender bend, with the famed Miyamoto Musashi. We know Musashi is a man, Japan's strongest swordsman, but the version we see in Fate comes from an alternate timeline and is a young woman. Hell yeah! I mean, with alternate realities, anything's possible, yeah? Kasumi from Pokémon. In the West, she's known as Misty, but regardless, she's the spunky, bug-hating, water-loving Pokémon trainer we all know and love. She's the youngest of 4 sisters who serve as gym leaders in Cerulean City. She joins our hero Satoshi, aka Ash fucking Ketchum, under the pretense that he buy her a new bike after destroying the old one. Atoli from .hack.gu. Outside of the World R2, Atoli is a nervous girl who is bullied in school. She finds solace in playing the MMO as a pacifist member of Moontree, striving to bring peace within the game. However, her journey with Haseo and her awakening as an epitaph user force her to think for herself and confront the harsh aspects of her reality. Velvet Scarlatina from Ruby. Velvet is one of the many huntresses studying at Beacon Academy. She's a shy faunus with adorable bunny ears and epic mage skills. Her weapon allows her to make light copies of other hunters' weapons, and her semblance lets her mimic their fighting style. Alushe from Knights of Azure 2. Alushe Anatoria lives in a world engulfed in darkness after the Night Lord's blood rained down upon the earth, turning both living and inanimate beings into demons. Alushe herself is a holy knight of the Curia, fighting against the Night Lord, and is later turned into a half-demon in order to save her life. While certainly a competent knight, she is caught between her duty to seal the Night Lord and the love she shares with Liliana, who is to be sacrificed. Futaba from Persona 5. Futaba's Sakura may seem like a cliched hacker archetype, but her quirky personality and reclusive nature set her apart from the rest. Within Persona 5, she's a brave girl who confronts and challenges her social anxiety in order to avenge her mother. She assists in battle by providing strategic support, analyzing your enemies, and rescuing you from danger. Francesca Lucchini from Strike Witches. Francesca is the youngest soldier of her unit in the 501st Joint Fighter Wing. She joined the Strike Witches in order to protect her home country of Romanga. She enjoys napping, especially cuddled up in larger women's cleavage, which I think is objectively divine. Kogyoku Ren from Magi. Our final waifu tonight is Kogyoku, the 8th princess of the Ko Empire and one of the series' many dungeon capturers. Despite her harsh front, she's actually a very lonely person who is afraid to disobey orders. Her heart is completely taken by the charismatic Sinbad, but that doesn't stop us from loving her all the same. So yes, all 40 of these waifu will be making their way into the polls, so be sure not to miss any chances to vote. To keep track of the current rankings, visit the link in the top right or in the description below. While you're there, please consider becoming a patron of the channel so I can bring you bigger, better content more often than ever before. This channel depends on you viewers to survive and grow, so thank you for your participation in any form. Be sure to subscribe to Otaku Daikun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and more Holy Waifu Wars. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to JapanCodeSupply.com, who is offering all viewers a special $3 off coupon for purchases $50 or more. They sell digital codes for various Japanese eShops, which is great if you don't have a Japanese address and still wish to shop for digital games and DLC. I recommend their PlayStation or Nintendo shop cards in case you import games and want that extra content. To get the discount, simply input the code Otaku Daikun and have fun. That's all for now. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.